Hi again, wrestling fans, and welcome to this week's captivating edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by AIWF Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan. And good to have you guys with us. Thanks for joining us. I know you guys have had a busy weekend. We all had a busy weekend and a wild show last night in Mount Airy. Things got pretty crazy there at the end of the night. What are just initial thoughts from what we saw last night, guys?
Well, my biggest thing is, Justin Flash is just alone. I don't know if it's because he's been back for several months. I just don't know if he's not made any, connection with anybody in the back. I don't know if people are jealous of him and want to see him get beat down, if people are just that scared of the Fighters Club. It was something to watch and nobody to come out.
Yeah.
It might be just like a little bit of a combination of everything. Just all of those things combined, being like, okay, if that were somebody I'm really close to, I will jump in the fray with the Fighters Club, but I don't really know that guy. It's like, he since he's come back, I don't know that there's anybody in that locker room that was wrestling when he was.
Yeah, because you gotta think, like, how long has it been since he's been wrestling full time? Like, he stopped in 2014, 2015, somewhere around there, I think.
Yeah.
And the only people that are there that are retired.
Right.
Yeah, and this is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is a picture that was posted to Flash's social media page this morning that he took in the dressing room last night. As you can see, a bad gash on the right side of his head there that was given to him by the Fighters Club. And at some point in this program, we're going to take a look at the AIWF Mid-Atlantic fan cam video of that incident. But yeah, Justin Flash has really been a thorn in the side of the Fighters Club. He hadn't been able to capture the Mid-Atlantic title, but last night I think they got a measure of revenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, and to me, because I know that Jack is trying to dismiss Justin Flash, saying that he's already beaten him twice and has nothing else to prove, but I think that beatdown just shows that he is worried. That I think with every match he can sense Flash getting closer and closer to being able to defeat him. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what it seems like to me. I'm just thinking, what would I do in that situation? And that's exactly what I would have done in that situation back then. If I felt threatened, I would have, just unloaded everything I had on the other guy, and that's exactly what Jack did.
It was eerily similar to what the Shield used to do about 10 years ago, how they would come out to the ring and just kind of slowly surround it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a quick rush and beat down. It was it's almost like an intimidation thing too. It's just slow creep, and you can see them coming, and you're looking all around and seeing them slowly close in on you. So yeah, it's very intimidating.
And all of this video that we're gonna show you some video that we took, fans, but all of this will be coming to you in the next few weeks on AIWF Mid-Atlantic Live, which you can see on the ROKU channel first. That's where it premieres, but then it comes to our YouTube channel, AIWF Ringside Wrestling, and of course this show's archived there as well. So all that will be coming to you. But let's also talk about the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament kicked off last night. JJ Cerna and Logan Quindell challenged the Fighters Club, and representing the Fighters Club seems like they really like the Freebird rule. And
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember. whose fault that is that they know about the free bird rule, but I'm afraid it might be mine. Because I seem to remember having a conversation with David Parrish about something unrelated. I mean, it was wrestling related, but not anything that they're up to, because I try to stay out of that. But as I mentioned, how the Freebirds used to do that in Texas, I believe, is where they started doing it. And and if anybody doesn't know, the Freebird rule is a rule that if you're in a faction, let's say for just sake of argument that me, Brian, and Reagan are all three in a faction, right? We're the family, we're the or whatever. No, I shouldn't say that because I don't deserve to walk the same path that you guys did. I mean, I sit behind a microphone.
That's fine. We've recruited you into the family. We're the family 2023.
We've had, the family's had some strange members. So
yeah,
as time marched on.
Okay, so all right, so here's the thing. Let's say that for sake of argument, that Brian and Reagan win the tag team title, right? Okay, well, for one reason or another, if Brian and Reagan got hurt or they just wanted to mess with the other team, they invoked the Freebird rule, which the Freebirds invented, which means any two of the combination of the faction can wrestle and defend the titles anytime they want to. Now, how the Freebirds ever got away with this, when they first tried it, I don't know if it was in Mid-South or it was in Texas or where it actually happened, but a precedent was set. And so after that, pretty much if, two members of a faction get in to defend a title or wrestle on behalf of that faction now, and the referee says anything, all you got to do is look at him and go, Freebird rule. And the referee's like, oh, okay. So that's it.
Well, I know that that I had used that rule in the past, and my reasoning with my opponents was, okay, the guy that I won the belts with isn't here, and I have a replacement, and you have two choices. You can face me and the replacement, or we can just leave and there is no match and you don't get a shot at the titles.
And what happened every time you presented that to them?
Right. So it's like, well, here's your choice. You can either get a shot at the titles or not a shot at the titles. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, not a hard decision to make, but what it does for you, who's using the Freebird rule, it gives you an advantage because they may have prepared for opponents A and B, but now they got opponents A and F,
Right.
and so they're all messed up. And
because more than likely, if I were Logan Quindell and JJ Cerna, I would have bet on David Parrish and Azrael. That's who I would have thought would have been representing the Fighters Club in the Don Carson Memorial Tournament. But seeing as how they're the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions, but the fact that Jack was one of their opponents, I'm sure really threw them off of their strategy.
Yeah, and as we were talking, I was telling you about my iPhone was with my PC. I was able to actually get this footage pulled down of the closing moments of the Fighters Club. There you see Jack tagging in David Parrish against JJ Cerna and Logan Quindell. And this was the first match of the 2023 Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament. And you can see Jack really keeping the referee distracted and moving David Parrish around like, come here. And they got an idea. I think they're going to attempt a clothesline here. And Cerna gets away, makes the tag to Logan Quindell. And I was surprised. I hadn't seen Logan Quindell and JJ Cerna team up together, but they were actually holding their own pretty good, were they not?
They were, and I could tell that there was some tension at the beginning of the matchup. These two guys, I don't think, got along very well, but they had kind of made an uneasy alliance because they wanted to advance in the tournament. Of course, anytime you have a match, you want to win, but yes, and they seem to be working together pretty well
Up
until
well,
well, see,
That was
yeah,
good.
it worked
That was good.
fine. But they had tried that before, and on Jack, and he moved out of the way, and that knee hit Quindell.
I was going to say,
That
this
was-
ended up being a grueling match. I've only got about the last 4 or 5 minutes of it on this video, but I mean, Brian, this thing went like 15, 20 minutes, I think.
Mhm.
And it had
Yeah.
been going a long time at this point. And you're right. They had hit each other before. Cerna and Quindell, I'm talking about. They'd run into each other accidentally.
Right. Yeah. And actually, I think it was Cerna hitting Quindell both times.
Mhm.
And it seemed like the first time Quindell was just like, okay, I think that was a mistake. But then it happened again, and
Right there.
right there, yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Here, let me back it up. So just to make sure that everybody watching at home can see it again. It was a nice backdrop, but
Mhm.
you'll see this. Watch again closely. I know for those of you on audio, this is a pain in the ass, but I promise you, I'm trying to think of something to get you guys a separate program. Right there, wham, down goes Quindell.
Mhm.
Almost staggered into me right there. But look at that backdrop. Well, you don't see that much these days. And
No.
look at Parrish, wham, with the big frog splash,
Yeah.
but he couldn't cover because Jack was legal. Jack covers 1-2. I thought that was it, but JJ
I did too.
JJ Cerna's a tough bastard.
He
kept
is.
picking
Yeah,
out.
I was very impressed. I thought that was the end too, and I was like, whoa. That was I was very surprised that he kicked up, which he was pretty beaten down at that point. I mean, you could see he's barely struggling up to his feet, but but yeah, he did manage to kick out. And then there again, I thought Jack was going to hit him with the spear, and just when you think this kid is out, he manages to. But then right there,
Yep. Let me
like,
back it
no.
up again.
Mhm.
The Fighters Club, you can see, generally concerned here.
Mhm.
And then JJ goes for the tag, and Logan just drops off the apron.
Yeah, and I was telling Bobby at the commentators table that from the outside of the ring, it's easy to tell that when those strikes against that he did on Quindell were accidental, that it was a simple mistake where Jack moved out of the way and he was in the way of the strike. But when it's you that's the one getting hit, it's like, can I trust this guy? He's already hit me twice in one match. Maybe I don't want to advance in this tournament with this guy that I didn't really trust in the first place.
And there it is. They hit him with the clothesline off the top. 1, 2, 3.
Kind of a doomsday device / powerbomb maneuver there.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta give him credit where it's due. It was pretty cool. And referee checking on JJ Cerna, but here is where the fan cam tape cuts off, and you're gonna have to wait till it comes out on the official videos on AIWF Mid-Atlantic Live. Brian, Reagan, you guys know you were there. After the match was over with and after the Fighters Club left, Logan Quindell came back in the ring and just beat, for lack of a better words, and me being from Southern Virginia, I can't think of any other expression, but just beat the tar out of him. I mean,
Stomped the mud hole in him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was very frustrated. I mean, just the fact that he was willing to take a loss by jumping off the apron and not getting the tag shows just how frustrated he was. But then he took out that frustration on his former partner, which also, we were talking about how Kevin Phoenix Cochran had formed this team in the first place, and we were like, I'm sure he's really eating this up, the controversy and the conflict that the team was going through. That's exactly the kind of thing that Kevin Phoenix Cochran wants to put on the network and have happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, you saw a tag team with potential, but it was their first outing. Now they're split up. But selfishly, I have to say, as soon as while that was going on, in the heat of the moment, I remember standing there thinking, "Wow, I wonder what would happen if we got these two in an actual match together." Quindell and Cerna. I'd like to see that, honestly. I really would like to see a one-on-one confrontation with those two, and I think that they both going to want that now. So
definitely, yes, they're definitely going to want that. Quindell's going to want to prove that Cerna was the reason that they lost, and then also Cerna's going to want to get revenge on Quindell for the attack after the match.
Absolutely. For those of you listening, Rick Deezel is about to join us. His audio is connecting now, so get ready for all hell to break loose on this show. Because Rick Deezel is here, shaky camera and all.
Like Blair Witch.
Yeah, I know, right? Like you have to put your popcorn down for a few minutes at the beginning so you don't get sick. Rick Deezel, I can't hear you. You're muted. I'm afraid we're missing comedy gold because he's muted. I see a lot of F-bombs being dropped. I've watched the NFL for years. I can read lips pretty good. What? No, I can't hear you yet, buddy. He's trying, guys. I see him.
Got it.
There we go. All right. Rick Deezel reporting live from the Mount Airy Food Truck Festival, I believe.
They made me work in the freaking thing today.
It looks like
because there was so many people.
Yeah, it was 50 different food trucks in downtown Mount Airy today.
I don't count them.
No. I was looking at the advertising, the billboards that came out.
Right many.
Yeah, and you guys had a sweet spot right down there on the corner.
Yeah, they put us down there at the end where everybody got us coming in and going.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. When I saw they were almost right across the street from a snappy lunch, I was just like, "Oh, that's a good spot. That is a good spot."
We was like the pretty hooker today. They put us on a good corner.
Not down there near the clock or where the building fell down, right? They put you on the good.
No, that's over in the middle of town. You know, they took the whole top floor off that freaking thing. They got it down now where it won't fall on you if you walk past it.
Yes, I noticed that we always pass through down when we leave the show, because ever since that happened, we pass through downtown just so we can see the progress of that thing. And they've got the lane of the road open back up, and the buildings all looks like it's going to be done before too much longer. So kudos to.
I don't know what they're going to do with it, but there it is.
Yeah, I mean, they put it back up. So kudos to downtown Mount Airy for keeping the whatever the look they're going for. The
historical look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Falling down buildings, historical. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Right. Well, they all fall down eventually, but let's see here. So Rick Deezel, we were just talking about what happened in the first match of the first round of the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament. If that's any way to kick off the tournament this year, the next 2 months are going to be really exciting because we had a new team split up, and the Fighters Club have moved very quickly into the semifinals.
Yeah. Man, if I didn't have this food truck, I'd stop watching Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, yeah, it was interesting. I hadn't seen it yet.
Well, I saw it. I saw it. So.
Yeah, you guys go ahead because you know me. I was doing my thing, and I'm not. I don't. Since Reagan has took over, she got her sweet spot with the network, and now she's was the producer for last night's show. They just kind of pushed me off to the side, so I sat in the corner and cried.
Well, everybody can take it out on me when they say I put the wrong name on people.
Everybody's got to learn.
Right.
That's right. That's all.
It was chaotic. It was chaotic, to say the least, with having to deal with Kevin not there.
I will tell you.
Freaking homeless. There's a homeless house under the bridge down here.
Is there?
Oh, dude, oh, wait a minute. There's a dude going up in it.
You're going to try to get him on this podcast? We're going.
Well, I was going to find out. I'll mail you a letter if you tell me your address. Anyway, God dang. Here I come.
You don't want to do that when you're in Los Angeles. You holler at one of those homeless people when you're in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, man.
Yeah,
I've been there and done that.
Unhoused.
Unhoused.
It looked like a house. They had built a house up under the bridge, like they do in Winston. They used to do in Winston. They used to do in Winston-Salem all the time, man.
They still do on Salem Parkway.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's right. They do them all the time.
Anyway, that was random.
So anyway, yeah, Don Carson, and I like the way we're doing it this year too, with the not announcing the teams. You know, we don't have all the teams up at one time. The way we've done in past years. Now we're announcing them per show, so you don't know who's going to be there until the next show.
Yeah,
I like that. This little
yeah, it adds an element of surprise and excitement to it. Yeah, and because you're not going to know who all the teams are until the end of the first round. So
right. So I mean, it's like the Fighters Club has moved on in the tournament, but they have no idea who they're going to face next because they have no idea who the next two teams are.
Yep.
And the next two teams might not even fall into their bracket.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Mystery.
I do too. Adds a whole new element to the tournament.
Y'all have no idea how tired I am.
Oh, I imagine pretty tired. We were there.
This was the 6th food truck event in the last 5 days.
Yeah, because you guys did 2 yesterday. You did one in Sparta and then did the wrestling show.
Yeah, the girls done that one in Sparta yesterday. If they ever find out that I say I had anything to do with that other than pulling the truck and then going and getting it, I will get cut. That's what I done. But damn it, I pulled it and I went and got it. I done my part.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, we were talking about the bracket. Let me show it to you. Here it is. This is the tournament bracket for this year. Here, we'll make this a little bit bigger for you. Current slide. There we go. So as you can see, the bracket is blank. The only thing we know is what you see here. JJ's, it's a little bit of typo there. JJ's turning on Logan Quindell against the Fighters.
That one.
And then the Fighters Club advanced. So they move on to the semis. And if tradition holds this year, Rick Deezel, we will have a show in late July that will have the semis and the finals.
Yeah, that's when the finals are supposed to be, and I think the end of July.
So we've still got 3 more first round matches to go. So it's it's an 8-team tournament. So you start in the quarterfinals. It's not something that's going to go on for months and months and months. It's not designed to be that way. It's supposed to be fun for a few months, and we get to remember Don and think about him. And I told a story to the audience last night about the very first show I came and worked in AIWF. Don Carson wrestled Dynamite Doug for the AIWF championship that night in a lumberjack match. So, and that was certainly a fun night. Something I'll never forget.
Don is the one that convinced Rick to let me train. He took it upon himself to convince Rick that I wasn't going to be like every other girl that came into the AIWF think they were going to be a wrestler. So
my first 100% right.
He was
I don't think he's ever been more right about anything. He was like, she's tough, man. She can take it.
Because when I first started, I was with them. I was with TVA, and Rick moved me. Oh, well, I moved over to the family because I believe I hit change with something, but I don't remember what, because that was a long time ago.
Well, hopefully,
podcast. You're like a wild drive. Kiss my ass.
Wow. This is compelling TV, folks. We're going to get an Emmy one day. Or did they give it?
Look at you, funny. They look at it and go, he's doing something illegal.
Oh, talking on the phone and driving.
Yeah. I think because I'm pulling a big old trailer, that it matters more.
Yeah. Might be big and dangerous. But anyway, so the Carson tournament's underway. And we've got some more footage to show you, Justin Flash. Now, I gave my notes away last night without making a copy, which was stupid, and I'm not going to do that again. But not giving them away, not making a copy for myself. But Reagan, help refresh my memory. We had 2 qualifying matches for
We
the
did.
piggy bank. Now we know about Justin Flash and Con O'Kelly. We're gonna take a look at the highlights of the end of that match later on. But there was a tag team match at the
Yes.
beginning of the night. So tell us about that.
So Kevin Cochran, Phoenix Cochran, I can't keep up with it, was not there, but he had sent me a message since I've been helping him with the show in the back about spicing things up with the tournament this year. So we actually started by a tag team match instead of instead of doing 2 single matches in the beginning, to do a tag team. And so we picked, it was Mickey Falk and Buddy Flowers versus JT Moss and Dalton Grant. What is his last name? That's the one I messed up. Sorry.
That's
He's
all right.
newer and I messed the names up. But so we set that up, and it was a really good match. I really liked the change and doing something a little bit different. A lot of times organizations don't do singles tournaments with tag match first thing, but I wanted to see some big action and stuff. And I know Mickey was the winner last time. So, it was a good starting match for the tournament.
Yep. And so advancing out of that match was Buddy Flowers and what was the other guy's name?
Mickey Falk.
Oh yeah, Mickey.
See,
I'm lost without my notes. I'm telling you. Oh, I'd like to say hello to Alex Gunner and Michael Gammons watching. Thanks for your attention in the chat. And if you have a question or comment, just put it in the comment section there if you're watching live on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment too. And I will probably address your question unless it's stupid and I'll just ignore it. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I?
But yeah, it was an exciting match.
The birthday thing went over like gangbusters. I got it. He said he got it at 5 o'clock this morning, England time, and said it was amazing and said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Just to tell all our viewers who you're talking about, just so they know.
It was a birth wish. And me and Brian, it was a guy.
Okay. We're losing. We're not hearing much out of Rick Deezel.
That dead spot.
Yeah, it must be. Anyway, we had a fan in England that's big fans of Rick Deezel and Brian Danzig, and they sent a birthday wish to her.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
The guy, he was doing it as a surprise for his sister.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
really cool.
In Yorkshire, England, right? Or
yes.
Yorkshire, UK.
Yes.
Yep, Yorkshire, UK.
And this map says not Ireland, England. I didn't know that Ireland had a Yorkshire. What do I know?
I didn't know either. I don't know much geography about the British Isles except London's in the south and Birmingham is where Martin is. But
I forgot about Martin.
I got jokes, but I'm gonna leave them alone. But Martin, if you're watching, hey buddy, miss you. Let's see here. Let me pay before we move into some more video footage. Let me pay a couple of bills real quick here. And let's see here.
Hey, I can talk about something off topic. Oh, go ahead and do that. Wow.
Yeah.
God dang.
Hopefully we weren't just not a witness to a crime being committed. Let's see here. Premier Auto Detailing. They are a great service that operates in Mount Airy. Hands down, the best car cleaning service in town. And yes, I wanted to come up with a catchy jingle for Premier Auto Detailing, and I'm sorry, that's the best I could do. But anyway, they do all your type of detail work. If you look like at that Camaro at the top of the screen, I think it's a Camaro Mustang 1. You see how it's all dirty in the back and everything. So if you've got a car that's really been out in the back, sitting up on blocks for a few years, and you finally got it running, now you need it cleaned up, Premier Auto Detailing is your guys. If you have a car, if you're like me and I have trouble keeping the inside of a car clean and need it like cleaned right down to the nub with brushes and like makeup brushes and toothbrushes like you see in the photo here, Premier Auto Detailing is your guys. Also, if you have like a used car lot or have a fleet, you have a business with a bunch of trucks or whatever, and you need fleet service work done, they can help you out. Premier Auto Detailing in the Mount Airy area. All you have to do to get in touch with them is call 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722 for Premier Auto Detailing. And we thank them for their continued sponsorship. Be sure you tell them that we sent you. Tees Creations Custom Apparel. Yes, indeed. They can make you all kinds of custom t-shirts, sweatshirts, custom front license plates. They make tumblers. They do it all pretty much. They've got a wide selection of stuff to choose from on their website, which is teescreations22.com with no punctuation, just tscreations22.com, or you can visit them on facebook.com/Tees Creations, but they're really good at custom jobs. So if you're having a family reunion or you got a little league team that needs matching shirts, Tees Creations is where you want to go. And if you visit their website, there's contact information there, teescreations22.com. You reach out to them, they will offer you a great deal. They're very affordable. When you go on the website, you're going to look at the prices and be like, whoa, is this for real? Yeah, it is. You need to check them out. Tees Creations. And they're teescreations22.com. That's teescreations22.com. And if you'd like to join our advertising family, get the word out about your small business, we're here to help you. We've got the best rates in wrestling advertising, period. Prove me wrong. $10 a month for a couple of reads, just like you hear here. And if we take time off, that does not affect you. If I get bronchitis and have to miss 2-3 weeks because of that and a trip, it's not going to affect you. $10 gets you 4 reads, a month's worth of reads, and so you don't pay them off. $10 a month gets you a 30-second to 1-minute read. If you need to produce a video commercial, those are $30 a month. We come out, we'll shoot it, we'll put it together for you, we'll air it on this program, no problem whatsoever. We also do weekly rates. So if you're doing something, having a yard sale, something like that, we'll be glad to put that up for you. But it's to help the little guy out with advertising prices, because we all know how much advertising packages cost with your traditional radio and television stations. They're absolutely sky high these days. And now even some podcasting advertising packages are getting out of control. So we're trying to be the opposite of that. And so you'll appear live on Facebook when we do the show on Sunday nights. Also, your ads will be archived on YouTube. And we have the audio on all these podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all the major ones. And if you like more information, you can reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. That's AIWF20@hotmail.com. Also, we've been started archiving this show on the ROKU channel. So there's another platform that you get there. So a lot of bang for your buck with AIWF Mid-Atlantic. All right.
The Premier, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a veteran-owned business, correct?
Yes, it is. It's a veteran-owned business. Mm-hmm.
So support the veterans. People always talk about what can I do for a veteran? It's support their businesses. Support what they're doing in their lives, and seek out veteran-owned businesses. And we got one for you.
There you go. Good point, Reagan.
What we're talking about, veterans.
Yeah, the Premier Auto Detailing is owned by a veteran.
Oh, yeah. Help us so they don't have to live under a bridge.
Yeah.
Like that dude I seen back there a while ago.
Now, I kept it positive.
Rick Deezel's almost threatening the customers. Like, if you don't call this number, this guy's going to be homeless. It's like that bit. Remember that Weird Al movie in the late 80s, UHF? You guys remember that movie, UHF, that had Weird Al in it? Remember the car dealer on that that ran a commercial with him? And he said,
I'm mad
if you
as
don't
hell
come
and
down
I'm
here,
gonna take it anymore.
he's like, if you don't come down here and buy a car for me today, I'm gonna club this baby seal. And he had a bat and everything. So funny.
See, that's advertising, buddy.
Wonder.
Oh my God.
Trying to give me a minute, I'm trying to back a damn trailer in the driveway, you pecker nut.
Pepper
God
nut.
damn it.
Do you
That's
see what I have to deal with?
People are so freaking, they're so damn impatient.
Oh, is somebody
Are you back?
honking? Yeah, he's
Hey,
backing
Blakey,
in.
too.
Somebody was honking at him, I think, when he was trying to back.
Yeah, I tried to back his trailer in this freaking driveway, and it goddamn. You know what? Hey, tell me
This
when
is
to stop.
This is riveting podcasting.
It sure is.
This show right here is going to win us a podcast award.
Yeah.
Maybe a Razzie.
I don't know if we're eligible for an Emmy, but you know, I know the powers that be in Hollywood that are watching this right now, you know, that are trembling, their knees are shaking and banging together.
Yeah.
They're in fear for their jobs.
I guess he was mad because I was backing the damn trailer into the.
I don't understand why
yard and giving
people are
me a
so
hateful
impatient.
look. It old
Well,
Peckerwood.
I shared this on my personal Facebook, and 2 family members came by. So I don't know if they're still watching or not. They're probably like, "What in the hell am I looking at?" Trista, I
that
sent
was
you
a
a
wrong
message
time
about
to say that, Reagan.
Huh? Well, Trista,
That
I
was-
sent you a message about a cup.
A tumbler.
Can you need to check your Facebook when
She
you
really doesn't look like she wants to talk about work right now.
The best thing is that as soon as I as soon as I got her in the frame, the words "What the hell am I looking at?" came out of Reagan's mouth.
Well, please tell her that I wasn't talking about her. I don't want her to beat me. She could beat me. At this point, Trista could beat me up. So
Oh, right. At this point, Trista couldn't smack a leaf off a tree.
Yeah, she's probably gonna go in the house and sleep for 2 days.
Well, she told me she'd call me sometime around Wednesday. Here, hold this. You can talk to him.
No, I don't want to talk
Well, you did
Hey.
hold it, face it toward me. It don't matter. I got to plug the trailer in.
Oh, okay. So she's
oh
holding the
my
camera while
God,
we watch.
this is poor
All right,
Trista.
let's look at some wrestling highlights on our wrestling
Why
show.
not?
I mean, it is a wrestling podcast.
Hey, let me tell you something. Don't get too mad. Tease Triss is Tease Treats. They're a sponsor.
No, I know. I'm going to talk about them in a little while. As a matter of fact, I got some whole new photos I'm going to share with the viewing public of Tease
You're
Treats.
walking like you got a club foot.
I can't feel my feet.
Well, you want to make money. It's a part of it. Crawl up in there and check that ice cream box.
You know, 100 years from now, if the grid hadn't busted yet, somebody's going to run across this on YouTube and be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" But you know what would be funny is like,
Oh, that's why it all collapsed. Okay.
yeah,
Makes sense now.
it'll make its way into some like film or broadcast study in UCLA, you know, like 100 years from now, and the professor will start the lecture with, "Okay, this is what you don't want to do." So
Consider
by
Brad
then,
and I are eating ice cream while we're doing this. So.
yeah, you're definitely not supposed to eat on TV. That's big no, but this is the
by
internet.
then they'll be having podcast, classes where you can get your doctorate in podcasting, and they'll be like, "Okay,
I
let's
just
go
wanna-
back to 2023 and see what not to do."
Yeah.
I just want to keep it real. I eat ice cream on Sunday nights, and this is bleeding
This is
into my
about as
ice
real
cream
as it
time.
gets.
Yeah, I got no issue with it. Let's see.
So you
here.
can't
Now
hear
listen.
me.
Listen, me and Ty Tyson, getting back to wrestling, me and Ty Tyson, I had totally forgot this, but he had brought this up to me a while back, and I want Brian's opinion on it. There's a rumor going around that when Ty Extreme Content, we're introducing a new title. Have you heard about this, Brian?
Yeah, I've heard some whisperings in the back about a new title. Yes.
Well, I know Ty's a world champion right now, I feel like that being world champion, it's going to be hard for him to do anything as far, but it is a title that he said that he's expressed interest in the future. Whoever that is, call and tell them I'm on a podcast.
It's Bonnie.
Oh, anyway, it's going to be a hardcore title. We're bringing back the hardcore title there.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that? Considering when it comes to hardcore to AIWF, you pretty much invented the whole thing in this company. So I want your opinion on it. Really?
Well,
That's why you throw up on the side of the road.
what?
I don't know, man. This thing's so far off the fucking rails now. I'm just kind of sitting here looking at Twitter.
Oh, because he's drinking.
Okay, he has been in the food truck all day. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah, well,
Brian,
you know,
hardcore title. Hey, where do you go? Hey, fix me some tea.
Well, you know, it's
But I
you
think
know, I've in the past been like, yeah, I don't want there to be too many titles because I think it diminishes the titles that are the more titles you have, it kind of lessens the prestige. However, I think a hardcore title is I think it's a good idea.
see, I'm on the fence like that too, because I'm thinking, like you know, if you got too many titles, then you know that everybody can have a title. Why? What makes them important anymore?
Mhm.
But hardcore is something that we were invented on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it is a legacy for the AIWF, not so much the AIWF as a whole. 'Cause I know we've got the world, you know, the shoot fight title and the hard, you know, we got all them. But here in the Mid-Atlantic where the AIWF was invented, that's what made us who we were. And
Yeah.
I feel like that if there was a title that we need to bring back, that would be it.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. And again, it's one of those. It's not just another title. It's
Right.
it's a specific style of wrestling that you have that you would have to excel in order to have the belt.
And
Yeah.
and what made the AIWF's hardcore matches different than some of the shit you see on the internet is I truly believe that there was a technique that was brought to the hardcore matches in the past. It wasn't just hitting each over the head with a tin plate. You know, it was
Because back in the day,
violent. I mean, it was, don't get me wrong, it was violent. It was more violent than almost Japanese death matches, but there were still people that were in these that were technical wrestlers who could hold their own with any technical wrestler on the independent circuit, who could step into the ropes or the barbed wire ropes and add a technique and hardcore together. And I would like to see that again.
Yeah.
and I agree. I think that's the way that division, if we're going to do this, that's the way that division needs to be run. I don't want.
It doesn't need to
step
be
up
death matches. I'll say that. There's a
No, I
difference.
don't.
There's a difference between hardcore and death matches, I think.
I don't want it to get to the point where there's a bunch of guys that, because I see this a lot on Facebook and social media now, where guys literally are proud to take their promo pictures with their back to the camera so they can show all the scars on their back. You know what I'm saying? Or they're obsessed with showing wounds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that to
It's
me,
like-
that cheapens it. That you
It's
don't
like-
know how to wrestle, you do what you know, only thing you know how to do. So that's why you have to have your back all scarred up.
Right. And
Right.
it's not about the injury. I mean,
Right. It's about what
No,
you're
no.
doing.
No.
We'll
I
see.
can fall down the steps and break my ankle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want my thing is we do not say wrestling is family entertainment around here because it is violence. Although if you want to bring the kids, that's up to you parents. But what
Right.
we want to assure you of is you are not going to see in the hardcore division, at least the way I understand it in AIWF, you're not going to see death matches. You're not going to see people intentionally mutilating themselves, falling through or jumping through plate glass windows or jumping off a 50-foot ladder onto bare concrete. None of that stuff. No, you're going to see intense combat with weapons.
Right.
It's
Right.
good. It's still going to be a sport.
The
So
way it was meant to be here in the Mid-Atlantic.
yes, and if you go back and look at some of our stuff from the 90s, hardcore was all the rage back then.
Right.
And I think we were a smaller version of ECW 97, 98, 99. I mean,
Nobody was compared to them like we were. But ECW, they had a lot of hardcore, but they had some of the best technical wrestlers in the world up there too.
Right.
exactly. At the time they had Eddie Guerrero was there, Rey Mysterio was there, Psychosis was there. Who else? Dane
Dane
Malenko.
Douglas.
Yeah.
Dane Douglas, who was a fantastic technical wrestler.
Mhm. Lance
Yep.
Storm.
Lance, yeah.
Yeah. Benoit was there.
It's just it's like everybody from when hardcore kind of fell out of favor with wrestling. Like
06.
the people who picked it up were these terrible backyard guys.
Right.
These people who get like Shane says, get their tax refund and go buy a ring, who don't know anything about how the finesse. And there's an art to hardcore, the way Brian Danzig did it, and the way Daniel Mays did it, and other guys, Chris Tenney, like there was an art to it. And I know that sounds insane to say, but it wasn't just getting out there and just getting hurt for a pop. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
Basically, what it was wrestling, but using objects, not just using wrestling moves.
Well, just
But it wasn't
because
just taking turns hitting each other with things.
Yeah. It was a wrestling match with props added.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
like I don't want to compare hardcore wrestling to Carrot Top, but he is a prop comic. So I mean, that's
Well, it's more like Gallagher.
oh boy, yeah,
Oh,
that's
God,
even
don't-
worse.
That's even worse because he's a racist.
Hey, listen, just because hardcore is an art form don't mean all hardcore is art.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right.
exactly.
No,
We're
and,
not.
and
You know what I'm
I have been, Brian and I have been to shows where they're like I remember, I'm not going to say who wrestled it because one of them is a legend. We went to a match and him, this other guy were doing thumbtacks, and they had a box that they had made that they had the thumbtacks in. So it wasn't across the ring. It was just in this one box that was about yay big. And it was just embarrassing.
Mm.
Or people would say they're doing 10,000 thumbtacks, but you drop them out and you can tell it's like 100. It's people did it. Some people did it for the, like, I don't know, because it was cool, or for the, I don't know.
In thing at the time, maybe.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
just, then like I said, it fell out of favor, but I see it coming back. There's some legends who are doing it themselves now and getting hurt, and then other people are following suit, and then the very next day all you see is all those wrestlers coming up, I'm injured, I'm hurt, I'm tore up, I'm in the hospital, I'm this, I'm that, and the other, because they think that it's not a joke. I'm not saying it's like a joke, but they think they don't take it seriously. And when you don't take it seriously, then you do get hurt.
Well, and then they set up a damn GoFundMe and want us to donate to them because of their own stupidity. And And
Right.
I'm just, you know, I ain't
And I'm
with
not
that.
saying that I haven't done stupid shit in a hardcore match. I mean,
Everybody has.
everybody has. I mean, they've done things that, you know, you probably shouldn't do, but, you know,
Like take a chair shot from chains.
Yeah.
yeah, or get set on fire or things like that. But it's all for the good of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a way to do it without damaging yourself, and there's too many idiots out there damaging themselves.
Well, it's like Cornette says that a lot of people think that anybody can do this, and they can't. I'm proof. I'm proof. I've stayed behind the microphone my whole career. You know why? Because I don't know how to fucking wrestle, and I don't think I could learn. I can't. I'm not coordinated enough to stick my finger in my ear with my eyes closed. So I've always known that it wouldn't be a good idea for me to get in the ring. That, and the fact, one of the first times I got in the ring, Cyclone body slammed me, and I didn't like that at all, Brian. That was on that old ring with the metal rods, and I just remember rolling out of that and thinking, yeah, I'm good behind the microphone. And
He did try to throw you to the floor, didn't he?
oh, the worst was Ronnie trying to give me a colonoscopy with a sharpened broom handle. That was one of the worst ones, but you know, but still, all in all, getting dropped on my head, put in a dress by the family was actually probably, of all the terrible things that happened to me as a young announcer, was actually probably the most pleasant, because I remember as I came to, the first thing that ran through my mind was, wow, this dress is comfortable. So, it's weird. We were talking about that before, the weird thoughts that go through your mind when something traumatic happens to you. But anyway, let's move on. Look at some clips from last night, the few that I was able to take. Now, here is the ending of the other qualifying match for Money in the Piggy Bank. It's Justin Flash against Con O'Kelly. This is the last minute of the match.
Plus, I mean, there was Justin Flash was not scheduled to be in this match, and I don't know if we can talk about his plea.
We can, but it's all going to play out on Mid-Atlantic Live over the next few weeks. But yeah, Justin Flash got himself placed in this match.
He did, and yeah, so I made a executive decisions about Justin Flash. So, and because he wasn't originally who I thought to put in against Con O'Kelly. So.
And there's Con O'Kelly with a big knee. Con O'Kelly surprised me in this match. He gave Justin Flash a real run for his money.
Yeah, he did. He keeps every time I see him wrestle, he continues to impress me more and more. He impressed me with his first matchup, and then seems like he just keeps getting better and better. And I've got to a point where I thought, oh, this kid doesn't have a chance against Justin Flash, former world champion. But near the end of the match, I was like, this could honestly go either way.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about Con O'Kelly and Caden Pierre is the truth in there of who they are in these characters, and not a caricature of these characters. And I really like that about Con O'Kelly, you know, just owning who they are, being who they are, and then getting in there and wrestling like just great wrestling. It's not a joke. They're not a joke. They're real wrestlers. And sorry, that's kind of my thing about them.
I like when you went with that, because I have to admit, when you first started with that, saying what you were saying, I thought you were just trying to butter up to him so you could borrow outfits off of them.
That's possible. And I wish my rear end looked like Caden. I think every woman's jealous of Caden's derriere.
Well, Caden told me that when he was in high school, he was a cheerleader. And so that's kind of where his flair comes from. I have not talked to Con O'Kelly about his athletic background. Nice kid, student of the game. A lot of the people laugh at him when he comes out there because he is so flamboyant. But look, fuckers, Dusty Rhodes used to wear a feather boa. So did Johnny B. Bad. And they were tough, you know, so that flamboyance can work to your advantage. It gives you a psychological advantage. Now, somebody like Justin Flash has been around for, better part of 20 years. Ain't gonna work on him. But I think the fans underestimate Conno Kelly, and like you guys were saying, he seems to get better every time we see him out there.
Yeah.
So that tells me he's doing film study.
The AIWF Mid-Atlantic is hard to adapt to, but he's adapting. He's plenty that come and go and can adapt, but I think he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he is, and he's also something else that I've noticed. He keeps adding to his arsenal. Every time he steps in the ring, he has some kind of new maneuver that he's doing, and so he's really putting the work in. And yeah, I'm very impressed with him, and if he sticks with it, then I think he could really go far.
Yep, I'm looking forward to seeing where this young man goes. So keep your eye on him, wrestling fans. Conno Kelly held his own in the main event last night. So we only got to see about a minute. The video clip's only 1 minute and 47 seconds, but I can assure you that match went much longer than that, and it'll be coming your way on AIWF Mid-Atlantic Live in the next few weeks. Speaking of which, I want to ask the people at the studio headquarters. I see that you've posted the newest episode of Mid-Atlantic Live on the Roku channel. If you could send it my way so I could post it on YouTube, that would be awesome. But just putting that out there.
I think you're getting an episode, I believe. I heard it.
Oh, okay, awesome. So yeah, so our last clip, and I want to maybe I should read the ads before we get into this last clip, because we got a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
It's Justin Flash's comments after the match and his confrontation with Fighters Club, and I want everybody to be able to look and actually listen to that. So let me do these last two ads, and thank you, sponsors, for sticking with us. Wrestling podcasts are a dime a dozen these days, and they come and they go, and I've seen a few come and go over the last few weeks or the last year, really. Actually, some start up and go away, and here we are still plugging along since 2021. I think June will be our 2-year anniversary. So y'all can't see that. We spare every expense here for production. So let's see here. This is for Branch Management. They're our first sponsor. They are tree service that operates in the Mount Airy, Surry County area of North Carolina. They can help you with branches that are too close to structures, no more pruning, or worst case scenario, complete tree removal. I would warn you, always think twice about that, because once you lose that shade, it takes a long time to grow a new tree. But sometimes the trees are getting too close to power lines, like you see in the picture here. Or what if you got a big old poplar tree, man, that's got, been there for, 50, 60 years, and its branches are over the neighbor's house. And every time we have a thunderstorm in the summertime, you hear that thing popping and cracking outside your window. Well, it might be time to trim it up so it doesn't fall through Leroy next door's living room, because that could be on you liability wise. So give them a call. They will come out and take a look at whatever your tree or arborist type situation is, and get you an estimate for whatever needs to be done. All you got to do is give them a call at 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994 for more information, or to set up an appointment. They'll come out and do free estimate. And if you refer a friend, you may be eligible for a $100 referral bonus. So if you got some trees that may be getting close to putting you or themselves in a precarious situation, give these folks a call. I'll give you those numbers again one more time: 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Now, Branch Management also offers a general contracting service. They do landscaping, gutter cleaning, pressure washing. Hey, I might need to get an estimate for them for my townhomes here, but you can reach them at 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487 for the landscaping, contracting, and pressure washing service. And they're our first sponsor, and we appreciate them so much. And be sure to tell them that AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Tease Treats, as we've been following along with the saga of Rick Deezel taking the trailer back home to its home base there in Toast, North Carolina. Tease Treats is a food truck that operates out of Mount Airy. It's available in most parts of the state, and they can be at multiple locations at the same time. That's because they got more than one truck. They have a full menu, including hot dogs, pizza, Look at these ribbon fries here covered in looks like cheese, ranch dressing, and bacon. Good Lord. I don't know what this thing is on the right side here. It looks like some kind of funnel cake with cheesecake and something else on top of it, but it looks plumb delicious. And then the one on the left with the strawberries. Oh, just fantastic. T Streets has got like the best food ever. Some of the best food truck food you've ever eaten in your entire life. It's absolutely fantastic. They got pizza right now. I saw that pizza selling at the wrestling show last night like hotcakes. And so they got mini donuts. Their specialties desserts though. So if it's got sugar in it, they can hook you up. But they're available for any event, music festivals, athletic tournaments, street festivals like they were at today. All you got to do is pick up the phone, give them a call, 336-755-8204. One more time, that number is 336-755-8204 for availability and where you can find them, which is basically the same thing as availability. And you can find them. They also have a Facebook page is where I got some of these lovely pictures that I've shared with you today. T's Treats, best concessions in wrestling ever. Prove me wrong.
Oh, their deep fried cheesecake with strawberries on it is by far, oh my God, it's so good. It's amazing. I get it every time I go to the show.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. No doubt about it. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a listen to Justin Flash had made it. You know, we even had a poster built up about it. He said he wanted to make some comments to address the fans after what happened with his son and the Fighters Club at the last show. He did that, and well, other stuff happened. So let me get this thing pulled up and we will give a look and a listen to what happened. This is AIWF fan cam footage from last night. And we're going to take a look and a listen to Justin Flash's comments. So stay with us. This is a few minutes long clip, folks. I can't hear it.
No.
Hey, you can't hear me say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I punched Jack this square in his nose. I'm sorry that I let him walk out of here representing the AIWF NETWORK as your champion. You deserve better. Wrestling deserves better than the Fighters Club. And with this opportunity, I am going to give my way back in the match with Jack, and he will not be the champion.
Uh-oh. Justin Flash with some incendiary comments. And now the Fighters Club sounds like they're on their way. Want to jump in here right quick as this copyrighted music plays. You could just feel it that was coming. You know, Justin Flash was hot, and he was making those comments, and here comes the whole Fighters Club. It's just, I remember when that music hit, it just gave me a cold chill. How about you, Brian?
Oh yeah, and you could tell Justin Flash knew it was going to happen too. As soon as he heard that music, he is like, I didn't hear what he said until I heard him on the camera. It's like, here, man, you better take this. he knew exactly what was going to happen. Yeah, but he was ready for them.
Yes, he was. And let's pick it up right here. We're going to pick up the audio right here because Jack had some things he wanted to get off his chest too. So we'll pick up the audio and video right here. Let's take a listen. I did something wrong. Hang on. Let's try this again. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe I'm gonna just have to let this thing play all the way through. Let me see if I can get it fast forward to the right part. Sorry, this is real-time editing, folks. All right, let's see. We might have to do some copyrighted music. I can trim it up later on YouTube. Jack giving orders for him to surround the ring. Oh no, this is not good. Jalen right here.
beat you, not just once, but twice. And I know what all of you think, every stupid one of you stupid, ugly morons that are in this crowd. JC tapped out. Just freaking what? That bell rang. That bell rang, and I pinned you with the frog splash. Did I not, Mr. Justin? Huh? So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. My group, the Fighters Club, is going to beat you up to send your old retired ass back into retirement, because that's exactly where washed up wrestlers like you belong. Fighters Club,
Oh, and so for those of you listening, they attack. Justin Flash fights them all. Oh, right there, Clara clipped his knee. She didn't look happy with Dalen either.
No, because Dalen was supposed, you could tell he was supposed to attack, and as soon as he locked eyes with Justin Flash, he backed off, which gave her the opportunity to put the forklift in, but yeah.
Well, watch this.
Yeah.
Look at him work on his head.
Jack trying to hurt him. They're trying to hurt him. Now Parrish gets on top.
Well, Parrish has got his hands taped really heavily.
And you can tell they're working the same spot too.
Yeah, and it looked like he was
Side
giving
of the
him
head.
that thing. Look, there's Azrael with forearms.
Just taking turns. Just,
Oh, it looks like you can hear these.
look at Flash. He's still trying to get up.
Yeah, and look, the blood pouring out of his head now.
He's bleeding.
And the point of the elbow.
Justin Flash is in big trouble. He's busted wide open.
This is what happens when you mess with the Fighters Club, brother. Guess what? That's why last time I was here, I pushed your son, and you weren't here to do nothing about it.
Now Dalen wants to hit him, I think.
We're gonna let Dalen wanted the power bomb. Jack's like, no.
Oh no, they're gonna give him the old sealed power bomb. This is for you, Travel. Oh, that was way worse. Oh, that was terrible. Oh my God. What a sickening display. I'll see you soon. If your old ass can come back. Azrael and Clara leave the ring. Dalen leaves the ring. Parents, Tom and Jack leave. They have destroyed Justin Flash. No one else matters.
That's the end of my footage. So it's kind of disturbing seeing it again. And I thought they were going for the Shield power bomb. I did not see Azrael standing on the top rope And as they got him up for the Shield power bomb, Azrael just jumped on his chest basically and rode him all the way down.
Yeah.
But that might have had the exact opposite effect Jack wanted. He wants to retire Justin Flash, but that my tape cuts off here. But in a few weeks on Mid-Atlantic Live, you're probably going to get to hear Justin Flash's comments. He was actually able to get up and get a microphone after this, tell the Fighters Club he was coming for him. He was going to kick all their asses. So I was kind of thrown by that. It's like, wow, have they lit another fire under Justin Flash's ass now that's going to make this even worse? Because that escalated the whole thing to me. Like,
oh yeah,
it was here and now it's over here.
Right. Yeah, his plan was to deflate Justin Flash and show him who's boss and be like, look, don't even try it. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. Just let it go. But yeah, it's going to have the exact opposite effect. One of the best assets that Justin Flash has is his tenacity, is the fact that he will not give up. That's something I made the same mistake with Justin Flash years ago when I first faced him, was underestimating him. I thought he was just another pretty boy, flash in the pan, no pun intended. But yeah, he is super tough, super strong, but more than that, it's the fact that he will not give up. You busted him open, you hurt him, but you didn't finish the job. So he's gonna come at you, and now he's gonna come at him even harder.
Yeah, when Justin Flash broke into the wrestling business, he literally had nothing. Everything about Justin Flash in his entire life, he's had to fight for. Every lace on those boots that he's wearing, he's had to fight for. So yeah, Brian, he looked like a pretty boy when he first came out, but nobody knew how much grit and determination that guy had. And
Right.
And the thing about it is, we've told, like, when Justin Flash announced that he was interested in coming back, I remember sitting around in the circle and talking about Justin Flash and Jack being there and hearing all these stories. But it's like, oh yeah, well, whatever. That was like back in 06, and Jack's a young guy. So 06, he was probably still, he was like probably in the fourth grade, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not, I don't think it's registered with him, but yeah, I think they may have just thrown gasoline on the fire by doing what they did last night. And now this is getting to, like, instead of a like really heated rivalry, it's like starting to creep up temperature wise to blood feud to me is what it feels like. It's getting there.
Well, I mean, Jack and the Fighters Club drew blood.
Yeah.
So it's they literally made it a blood feud now.
They did.
And
that's kind of the first time they took it that far too.
Yeah, because I mean, they just took turns just pummeling him. And when Jack came I think it was the second or third time and hit him with that overhand shot.
The hammer fist, yeah.
I don't know if you guys could hear it, but I can't wearing headphones. You heard that?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Right? And I was just like, I'm 2 feet away from it filming with a cell phone, and I'm like, goodness sakes. I mean, that was rough, man. It's hard to watch. Rick Deezel covered in funnel cake batter.
I told you they made me work today.
Well, when I discussed putting Justin Flash in that match with him, I said to him, I said, you've lost twice now. I'm like, why should you even be in it? And he is adamant about taking out Jack, and he is passionate about taking out Jack. And so
and I think the reason he wants to get in there again, because if you think about it, if you face somebody twice, lost against them twice, maybe you would be like, oh, maybe I can't beat this guy. But Justin Flash, I think he knows he can do it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got close the first time. He got razor thin close the second time. And I think he honestly feels like he can beat him if he gets in the ring with him again. And because not only does he have only one more shot for the Mid-Atlantic title, but just think about
He's got to win the piggy bank first. You know,
yeah.
I mean, that's not set in stone yet.
Yes, that's another thing.
yeah. I'm just saying that, like, what's going through his mind of wanting so badly to get in the ring with Jack again. Just think about if he loses to Jack for a third time. I mean, is he even going to be able to show his face in an AIWF ring again? If he's so determined to get in the ring with him for a third time and is able to do so, but then loses for a third time. So he's not only he's putting everything on the line just by attempting this, because I mean, honestly, I don't think anybody would blame him for just walking away at this point.
No, I don't think
so. I mean, I think that the match, the 30-minute Ironman match, was a great contest between both men, and if he just left it at that, I think that I don't think anybody would blame him. But
I don't think Flash would be satisfied with that. I think that he came so close with that,
right?
That he knows that he just a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got to be thinking, I come so close. I went 30 minutes with the toughest guy in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic, and he was only able to pin Flash once. Now, Flash didn't pin him at all, but he only pinned Flash once,
right?
In 30 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you see Ironman matches where there's like, 5-6 pins. In these guys, there was only one pin and then one submission that was right after the bell.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that close. People that don't know, all of us know, Justin Flash his other sport is baseball. And then when he got out of school, he switched to softball. I think, and I was talking to Justin about baseball yesterday. Maybe Rick Deezel, it's like this. He popped out to center the first time. He popped out to right the second time. But now he knows where that sweet spot is. He knows right how to follow through. And he knows that if he gets one more shot, that next one's going between the right fielder and the center fielder, and he's getting on base. So, that's just what comes to mind when I think about it, and yeah, I can only echo your sentiments. Justin Flash is not a person that settles with mediocrity. He's going to want to be, when he said he wants to be champion, he damn sure means it. So it's going to be great to see how this plays out, especially, but the first step is he's got to win the piggy bank. Right. He's already got Buddy Flowers and he's got Buddy Flowers and Mickey Fulp waiting in front of him. So, and we don't even know who else.
Right. Mickey Fulp won it last time. I mean, so, who's to say he won't win it again?
That reminds me, Rick Deezel, has Mr. Pigglesworth been repaired? He was ripped in half last year.
Oh, I don't know. I need to check on that.
So hopefully,
because not only would Mickey Heath love a shot at the Mickey Fulp, I'm sure Mickey Heath would too. But Mickey Fulp,
who's Mickey Heath?
That's the guy from School of Hard Knocks.
Oh,
that came in with he was the sensei of Chris Tenney and Richie Mitchell Matrix.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
I will fall into that sometimes in commentary. I will call Mickey Fulp Mickey Heath, but
chair shots.
Too many chair shots. But I'm sure Mickey Fulp not only would like a shot at the Mid-Atlantic title, but another shot at Jack. He's not a big fan of him either. So,
and he was the one that ended the legendary reign of Ty Tyson, Mickey Fulp did. And when he lost the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship, it was in one of those 3 or 4-way matches. And he got his lights knocked pretty loose at the beginning of that match and busted wide open. And was actually sitting on the floor, when the fall happened. Yeah. And so, but yeah, so Wow. Yeah. So that's about all I've got, guys. Any final thoughts? Things you'd like to add?
I got to take a shower.
I'd like to just say something to all my fellow wrestling announcers out there, especially you young guys, before we go. If you're working and trying to get in the indies and trying to impress wrestling promoters, showing up 5 minutes before the show starts and plopping your ass down in front of a microphone without talking to any of the wrestlers, anybody that has booked a show about what the matches are going to be tonight, and that kind of stuff is just unacceptable, because you obviously don't give a shit about the promotion enough to spend a couple of hours or even an hour before bell time doing your homework. That don't fly with me, and I've seen it happen several times in the last few months. And when you get in front of the microphone, you put yourself over as opposed to putting the wrestlers over. That's not what you're there for. You're not the star. You're not taking the bumps. You're not risking physical injury, to the point that you might not be able to walk again if you take the wrong kind of shot on your neck. So have a little fucking respect for this business and the wrestlers that get in the ring. I'm sorry, I've held off on this long enough, and I'm not going to mention any names, because the people that I'm thinking of, I do have respect for, and I want to see succeed, but you need to hear it the hard way. You need to treat this business with a little bit of respect. You're wondering why you put your stupid thing up on Facebook. It says, I'm a wrestling announcer and I'm available for bookings. You know why? Because nobody wants to book you because they know you're not any good, because you don't do your homework and you don't give a shit about the wrestlers. All you're trying to do is get yourself over. So that's just my 2 cents. That's what I had to say. And I'm glad I said it, because I feel like a giant weight has lifted off my shoulders and I'm going to sleep really good tonight.
I started to say 2 cents. That sounds more like $1.50.
Yeah. I used to have a segment on our TV show called My 2 Cents. And one time I went on a long time and I told them, I stole it from Family Guy, I believe. But I said that's about a quarter's worth at the end. So yeah. Got a dollar.
And I do have to say that people, there's somebody out there now who's going to try to balance out Kevin Phoenix Cochran III. So I'm going to do my best to mellow him out. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
He's still a young man, and he's in that phase of his life.
He keeps it that way, he's going.
Well, he's still trying to sow his wild oats. So, I understand, but we need him to be management. So hopefully Reagan can help keep him balanced out. She did a pretty good job last night. So we had some exciting action.
Okay, Reagan.
Oh, I was like, it made it sound like you were going to say something after okay, Reagan.
No, I just read your message.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
But anyway, so that's all I've got. Anybody else before we go?
No, I think that's
all right.
Separate.
Money in the Piggy Bank takes place on May 20th. So we've got just 13 days until the next one. So next week's episode of Ringside will be our go home show. And hopefully we've got some more video from what happened last night to share with you guys, and we'll have some more content for you on the YouTube page. Thank you so much. Clara and Amanda Kiss are almost to 1,000 views, and we just put the video up like 4 days ago. So thank you. And we appreciate that. We gained some more subscribers over it. Our goal is to hit 1,000. So whatever you can do to help us out with that, we'd greatly appreciate it. Check us out on Roku, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, Facebook, where you're watching right now if you're watching live. I am Mad Matt Carter for Commissioner Rick Deezel, Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan. We'll see you next time, wrestling fans. And until then, so long for now.